Hey, this is Khadijah.
And I'm Binah. And we're the hosts of Queens of Gossip, where the conversation is real, raw, and almost always funny.
Catch us gossiping about everything and anything from sex, marriage, and pregnancy to work, politics, and finances.
Welcome to Queens of Gossip, episode 3. We have Chantii here with us this afternoon. We're going to talk a little bit more about pregnancy, just get her perspective, gossip a little bit about what it's like for all of us, and go from there.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead.
Yeah, just let Chantii tell us a little bit about yourself. Hi, everyone. I'm Chantii. I have 3 kids. My first is 6 years old. Second, she's 4 years old, and my third is now 9 months.
Yeah. Wow. That's what you call enthusiasm. A busy household.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm a cool mom of 3.
You know what? That is what I aspire to be. Truth be told, I've been looking a bit rough. I only have 1 child, and I can't even stay on top of my hair. So I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. I wish I was a cool mom. I want to be a hot mom, actually. Just a side note.
Oh, that too. Hello.
Right? Like when I first had my daughter, I'm like, I want to be that mom that's like, oh my God, she does not have kids. But you take one look at me.
We got to keep it real.
Yeah. I have kids. So I'll introduce myself real quick. I have 1 daughter. She's 12. And I have the son on the way.
Wait, she's 12?
12 months. 12 months. She's 1 year. That was me being ambitious. She's grown. She doesn't need me anymore. No, she's only a year old. She just turned 1. Her birthday's on Christmas Day, actually. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But
and myself here, my daughter, she is 3 months, and has a full personality. And yeah, I am actively wanting to be like yourself with 3 kids. But 3 under 6, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
You never know. It can happen. I mean, it's very possible, but I'm trying to do the extra precautions to make sure it is.
Keep that rubber on. I mean, that's
yeah, exactly.
I'm just kidding. That was rude.
But I do think about like pregnancy and the beginning of it and how sex life was popping. It's completely different trying to find time with a child. Yes, I'm telling you, during those months,
true.
You can't get them back, man.
But I was wondering, if you have 3 children and they're all technically 3 under 6, like when did you start trying? Did you start trying, would you say, or did you just let it happen and go from there?
Pretty much, I let it happen. I was with my partner within like maybe 3 months knowing each other.
Yeah.
And then I remember I was about finishing college. I was doing ECE, and then we're like, hey, let's give it a try.
That's fair. You know what? That's fair. I turned 28, 29. I'm like, my eggs are gonna dry up. I best get on it. That's where I'm at. I'm in my 30s. Anything.
I'm in my 30s too.
You know what though? As soon as you go to the hospital, they always ask your age confirm. It's like, oh, you want to make sure, in a couple of years we'll be having a geriatric pregnancy. And I don't want that. Not that it's bad, but my self-esteem.
Think about all those celebrities that have kids from
oh my God.
Like that.
No.
Like, they make it work.
That's not fair. Yeah, because they have all the money to pay for a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Every child I have, my butt gets a little bit flatter. So, yeah.
See,
no.
I don't know, man. I guess it's different. What about you, Chantii? What do you think about just for the fact of having kids older? Like, would you ever consider having more? My partner wants more, but me, I'm like, I'm done. I hit my third 3 because I always wanted 3, so I have 3 now. So I'm like, I'm good, but I mean, yeah, no.
No, that's a good decision. Me personally, I was aiming for 1. I was swayed mostly because that there's a song. It says, yeah, that was me. I would have preferred, not preferred. I would have been fine with 1 and done. Right? I'm okay with that. I've contributed. But now I'm having a boy, which is what I really wanted. So I'm gonna just metal back take that back and be like, okay, yes, we'll have 2 now. But at first I was totally done, right? 1 and done. But no, I think more than 2 children, it's a huge ask. Because 1 is hard, 2 is harder, 3 is madness. And anything past 3, like, I applaud you from over here, away from you, because I don't want to catch it.
And that's the thing too, because I'm like, my mom had like 4 of us. I'm like, how does she do it?
Right? I come from a family with 7 children. That is not even in my peripheral. Like my peripheral? No.
I know,
7?
Right?
Nope. Every chance I get, I ask them, what are my options? If you don't want any more children. But no, that sounds terrible. But one question though, I look to TikTok a lot for me personally for like support groups outside my family because, you know, you can always ask your like sisters, cousins, aunts, moms, like anything you want about pregnancy, right? But I found TikTok to be like a good research place. But what did you find? Did you use anything outside of family?
I did Google, to be honest, and then after my first child was born, because TikTok wasn't out 7 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's
so
true.
I did Google, but then after when he was born, Tyson, I was on YouTube. I'm like, okay, first month, what did they do? Second month, what are they expected to do?
Right. Now? And now there are apps too, like what to expect when you're expecting flow, right? But I found like for my OB, like, did you go OB or midwife? Like I did OB, and I felt like I felt like I got more like from her while I was pregnant versus after. But I know the experience with a midwife is more hands-on. It's more like conversational, more of a relationship, less of a you need to get in this appointment and get out because I got like 12 other pregnant women behind you that need to step in.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I had OB. I had the same OB throughout all my pregnancy, except when it's time to deliver, she was never there.
Yeah, that revolving door of the medical field.
I'm like, where is she? I'm like, who are you?
Some random person looking at your privates.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, whatever, but it's time. Let's go. Let's get it going. Right?
That's true. But Khadijah, if you have 1 now and you're aiming for 2 or 3, do you think you'll switch from OB to midwife?
Oh God, no.
You'll stay with OB?
I loved my OB.
Yeah.
My problem is I don't like people in my face too much. It sounds so bad, right? But with the midwife, I feel like they have to get to know you, and I don't really want all of that. I want you to check the baby. You've delivered a bunch of them. Like looking at my coochie is not different than looking at somebody else's. It's just like your job. You just do it and go home.
I guess that's one way to look at it.
Right? And
I'm the hands-on type. I have anxiety. I need to, even if I know everything is good, I just like that additional reassurance. So like, for example, yeah, I do. Like, for example, like with my daughter, my due date, I would say like in terms of our due dates accurate, for me, it wasn't for my first child because of all the complications I had. I had a fibroid, I had preeclampsia, I had to stay in the hospital for 2 weeks. And then I was induced to deliver her early. Like she came about little over 5 weeks early at like 2.2 kilos, so 4 pounds and a bit. So I would say no. In terms of our due dates accurate for my first child, it wasn't, but we'll see how the second one goes. But what about you? Like, would you say where your due dates were relatively on point throughout your pregnancies or not really?
Well, with my first, Tyson, they said his due date was January 1st, but he came on the 2nd. And then with my second, Cheyenne, her due date June 15th, which came May 25th. And then Travis came March 21st. His due date was April 4th.
So that's not bad. You are still within your 36, 37 week mark.
True.
That's not bad.
See, my only biggest thing throughout pregnancy was like, I don't want to go over. And plus, my due date was Thanksgiving. So there's no way. I want to be able to eat. That was my biggest problem. If I'm not eating Thanksgiving, it's not Thanksgiving for me. But yeah, the idea of them coming earlier was ideal for me.
You know what's funny?
I don't know.
That's true, but you know what? I'm pro induction versus like on baby time. Like I don't want to be that parent who's just waiting. 39 weeks and 6 days are coming. You're like, come on, baby. Yeah.
Right.
Rent's due. Get out.
Like, why you not here? I had to pull out the pineapple juice. So I'm like, come on.
Does that actually work?
That actually works.
Like legitimately?
Pineapple juice.
Yeah. Everyone talks about having sex before like going into like.
Well, yeah, I would rather go with sex than juice. Sorry. Drink some water when you're thirsty and get back at it.
No, I don't know what it is with pineapple juice, because now thinking of it, that was something I did. I drank a huge amount of pineapple juice the day before, and then my water broke in the following day.
That's too funny.
But I did have back labor for how long, and I was doing the most. I was trying to do everything, but the pineapple juice and falling asleep was actually what triggered it.
Yeah.
Now that I think of it.
So your water broke at home?
Yeah, my water.
Oh, wow.
So actually what happened was I was just getting fed up. So I was having back labor. I went to the hospital ahead of time to see, like, I'm having contractions in my back. What is this? And they're like, it's just the early stages. And this started 8 days before my child came. But the funny thing is, the day before my water broke, I was feeling nothing. It was the first day where I felt relief. So I was like, what the hell? So I was like, we went for a walk. We went to, like, Mississauga, because we're from Kitchener. And we went to Mississauga and walked all around.
She's like, I'm done with this baby. Get your eviction notice served.
Right? I did everything except for the good. Like, I did not want to have sex.
But considering your water broke at home, did you go epidural or natural?
Myself?
Yeah.
I went epidural. That was the one thing I told my fiance. I'm like, I need an epidural. Don't come to me with nothing else. I want to feel nothing. If I feel too much pain, I would never do it again. But since the epidural
I was too chicken for the epidural. I'm worried about the shakes, the side effects.
Though, I got the shakes before the epidural when it was so much pain, because, like, when I was in the hospital, I swear to God, my child wanted to come through my back. Oh, right?
Yeah, that's how I felt with Tyson too.
No, stop. So that's why I was like, okay, the epidural was like a breath of fresh air. The epidural was easier than taking the stupid IV in my arm. The IV in my arm was more painful than the epidural.
For which of your 3 kids did you epidural versus natural, Chantel?
So I did epidural with my first for sure. Second, no, because it was too late. And then my third, I did have a section.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm chicken of the C-sections, truth be told. So the reason I'm saying I'm pro induction is because, like, if it's your first time, even if it's not your first time, how do you know you're in labor, right? Like me, I went in, I got induced, and, like, they did the cervical check. She's like, oh, you're 5 centimeters. I'm like, okay, good. Came back, did another cervical check, 7 centimeters. But let me tell you, at 7 centimeters, I knew I was in labor. I knew there was no one needed to tell me at that point. I was like, whoa, something is not right here. Like, you know, when you have to go, like, think you ate some bad chili, or I should say bad sushi, bad anything really. And it's like, whoa, the poop is coming. That's how I felt.
See, I didn't feel, like, the thing is funny is I didn't feel the poops part. Like, I unfortunately passed, like, I pooped on the table. Like, that was the worst fear about it. And the thing is, I didn't see it coming. So I just smelled something. I'm like, what is that? And then I'm touching the table.
No.
You put your finger right in it.
No.
I was like, oh my God.
No, I'm telling you, man. Pregnancy makes you remember dignity is left at the door.
Yeah, it's gone.
Left at the
gone.
door. You say and do things that you can't come back from.
Exactly.
I was ashamed by my behavior. I don't know if anyone else was, but I was ashamed of my behavior. I was like, at first I was calm, you know, like I can handle the pain. I can handle the pain. But that, I'm telling you, that second cervical check right before I was fully dilated, that put me into a whole nother, like, mode. Cause I was like, I'm doing it all natural. I'm doing it all natural. But that second cervical check, I was like, yo, you need to hook me up. I need an epidural like now, because I couldn't take the pain. I was yelling, and then I had to apologize. I'm so sorry for yelling. I don't know what has come over me. Like, really, I couldn't take it anymore at that point. But then it was too late. Yeah, I snoozed, I loosed. I had to go all the way with no epidural. But afterwards, I was like, okay, I made it. But I'm telling you,
after with the baby, you're just like, ah.
I did it, right? But, like, my dignity was, like, low. There was, like, 15 people in the room, everyone just watching it. And you know what's worse? You can't even see your own privates. Yet for all, everyone in the room, everyone in the room is seeing, and it's just you. And you're like, I don't know what's going on down there, but let me just keep breathing.
Keep breathing and get this baby out. Hurry
right?
up.
But is it just me? But I found after having a baby the most nerve-wracking, because at that point you're kind of vulnerable. You're just sitting on a table. The nurses are doing what they're doing with the baby. Your partner is with the baby, and all I could see is a lot of chaos. Because again, my child came like when it was time. She came out on her own. I hardly pushed. I pushed once. But that's the good old epidural. I didn't feel anything, but I had tearing. So you see like two nurses in between your legs sewing, and all you see is needle and thread, just sewing. I'm like, what is going on?
Can you imagine?
You see your child, an infant.
PTSD. No more sex for you.
All I could think about was, no, literally, all I could think about is how the hell did that big ass child come out of me? Because I'm looking at this child, and she was with 8 pounds, 5.4 ounces. I'm like, how the hell? And I'm a small girl, and how did I have my coochie was really destroyed, and I can't see it. I refused to look at a mirror.
Legs closed.
Exactly. So
not happening.
How did you feel after you have your children? Like, what were some of your thoughts that were going through your head? Because mine was like, I was terrified. I didn't even want to hold my daughter at first.
We should expand on this question a little bit, mostly because I'm curious. You know, this is Queens of Gossip. Let's gossip. You know, from 1 child to 2 to 3, like, was the sex the same? Like, while you're pregnant, when you're not pregnant, do you feel like there was a difference? If so, good, bad, terrible?
Well, I know the first and second trimester, I was super horny. I was like, yes, let's get it on. But then the third came. I'm like, do not touch me. No, that's not going inside of me. You're going to hurt the baby.
That's just too funny because I, like, maybe, I don't know.
No, you don't.
Like, I know, yeah, because I seen that on the internet. But I just find it funny because, like, for me, like, with the nausea in first and second trimester, I felt like having that physical release definitely helped me. I felt like, you know, you need to decompress because being pregnant is stressful. And then when you're feeling sick on top of it, like, it just sucks. But I don't know.
I didn't feel sick.
You're lucky.
I just had cravings. But
see, I'm only having cravings now with this boy, and it's because he eats all the time. Like, I feel like all he does is eat.
My question is, what are you guys craving? Because I'm hungry right now. So
I don't. I crave everything with salt and pepper. Yeah, right.
For me.
But then I'm like, this is not good for my blood pressure.
Right, but with Cheyenne, I crave sweets. I just wanted donuts and cakes.
You know what? That's true. I ate a lot of ice cream when I was pregnant with my daughter. Ice cream and, oh my goodness, the donuts from the Tim Hortons. Oh, like, when I could just walk. Oh my goodness, that was the other thing. And pie. That's probably why I gained so much weight. When I think back on it, I'm like, Binah, we did not make good eating choices.
I know, right? And I used to love milk. Well, I don't like milk, but when I'm pregnant, I loved it.
Yeah,
nice
I eat it. I would, especially with cereal. That's where I'm at.
Nice and cold, that was it. But now I'm like, ugh.
It's not feeling the same. It's not hitting the same.
What do you? I have to like contemplate right now.
Mine's just different. I crave chicken, fried chicken. Mine was weird cravings.
The smell of meat used to make me sick.
Yeah, but I would cook it. If I wasn't cooking it, I was good.
Yeah, no. Even when I would put meat on, I
didn't want
leave it.
Yeah, first trimester, I wasn't feeling meat. But then around like third and second, all I wanted to do was buy fried chicken all the time. Mary Brown's to Popeyes to Chick-fil-A. And that was my
For some reason, I couldn't do it. The smell of meat physically made me ill. Like when other people were making, if I even smelled it, I was like, yo, I need to get away from this space. Like, it's disgusting.
Is that the same right now?
No, now it was shrimp. Like when I was first pregnant in like my first trimester, anything that wasn't chicken, actually, I to be honest, I didn't really cook much this time around. The physical act of doing something, yeah, wasn't happening. This child was like to me in my stomach, like, no, you need to go and lie down. Okay, I have one side difference. And then I'm going to ask you if you can share your kids' names just because I'm struggling to figure out a name for this one. But the physical act of cooking, like in my first and second trimester with this one was like damn near impossible. I didn't want to cook. I barely wanted to get up and get dressed. Truth be told, if I could just walk around in my pajamas, you know, hair a mess and consume whatever was left around, that's pretty much what my life looked like.
That was me towards the end. I couldn't even stand up long to do dishes.
Can you imagine? This is what I'm at now. What am I gonna do? Like towards the end, I'm gonna look like a scary person. God help us all. But no, Chantal, what are your kids' names? And like, how did you come up with them?
Okay, so my first Kyson, I always loved the name Kyson, but then I'm like, oh, let me just tweak it in with like my name, Chantal. So CHYSON, Kyson. I'm like, okay, it still works.
It's unique. Cute. Yeah.
Right. And then Cheyenne, I was debating between Chanel or Cheyenne. Cheyenne won. And then Travis. Honestly, I was just putting like letters together and see what works and if it sounds good. And, okay, this is it.
That's fair. My guidelines are my husband would like them to all have the same initials. What can I say? I'm going to be the odd man out. Truth be told, my initials are BG and all of theirs will be ZG. If you change the D to J, I'll be a BJ. Hey, BJ, what's up? Just kidding. But no, that's like along the lines that we're trying to figure out what to name this one. But it'll be interesting. It'll be nice.
Yeah.
But I know we're about to wrap up, but anything we want to share, you know, like especially for first-time moms. I'll go first because I think mine is a good one.
Okay.
Once you're pregnant, have all the sex you want, especially if you don't want multiple children, because truth be told, if you just want one child or two, then you'll have to remember to put that rubber on or close your legs because you don't want multiple children. Or you do. I don't know. My advice for first-time moms, maybe get twins, one boy, one girl, and be done with it. But go ahead.
All I say it's easy to go in, have fun when it comes out.
Right? Jeez Louise. That's a good one.
I say, honestly, don't be scared to look for like alternatives, like epidural. I preach epidural all the time. Natural, I respect it, but it's not as bad as a lot of people think they are. Like, it's a lifesaver.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I can take that short-term gain for... I don't know. I'm just too chicken. I don't think any amount of pain will make me push myself over the edge to get the epidural. Although I know it's in my best interest sometimes, I'm just chicken. And my anxiety won't allow for me to not be able to feel my lower half. I don't think that would be good for me during labor.
Correction. It's not for everyone. It really isn't. But yet again, if it's something that you're completely scared of, like for instance, I was terrified of never wanting to have children again. So having the epidural is kind of like if I'm getting IV and induced medically that way, it's the same thing. I'm already halfway there. Like
you know what? I think the lesson here is don't be afraid to voice what you feel is best for you. I think that's the good one.
And don't ever get swayed. Like, for instance, don't let me influence you to go against what your plan is. You know what I mean? That was my experience. And no two pregnancies are the exact same. Everyone's own is different.
Oh, I do have one more question. Quick, before we wrap up. Chantel, like, okay, so given how your pregnancies go, we'll just focus on pregnancy 1 and pregnancy 2. Do you feel like the addition of an additional, like the additional child may have sped up like the labor process for you?
Maybe.
Because I'm not going to lie. I wonder about, actually, I worry and wonder. I'll use those two words together. I worry and wonder for like your second birth and your third. Because now you're not just taking care of your spouse, yourself, your child, and in the one in your stomach. Like you're taking care of a whole household. You're lifting children, moving around. Like it's different than when you're pregnant for the very first time. I think with each additional child, there's a new, I don't know, there's like a new challenge or something, a new obstacle to overcome. And I just wondered, like, should I be worried? Like, I don't know.
Like, honestly, because my kids like to be involved, they help me with their brother. So like a bottle, my oldest child, he knows how to make it.
So there's advantages.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm not gonna lie, that's one thing I did worry about. But thanks a lot, everyone. For socializing with us today. It was fun. It's always nice.
It was fun. Yes, and we learned something from each other.
One thing I like to say, like, even though as mothers is taking care of the house and our kids and family, don't forget to love yourself. Take care of yourself.
Right?
Make sure you make that time for yourself because that's important.
Come on. Hot Mom Summer coming up. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Queens of Gossip.
Yes, thank you.
Out.
Yes, check it out. Like and subscribe, guys.